Okay, here we go.
Grand Rising Elizabeths. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show today. Today we got a good topic for you to explore. So I want you to welcome Miss Deitra Covington, who will guide us through how true wellness begins in the mind and how the glymphatic system and Candida albicans impact our clarity, our mood, and our overall health. So please help me welcome Deitra Covington as she dives into It All Starts in the Brain.
Thank you,
Deitra.
thank you, and welcome to everyone. Let's see, I'm going to share a little something here. Let's see, here we go. Share. Let's see, let's get you full screen. How about that? Let me. Can everyone see that? I mean,
Yeah, we can see it. Just needs to get to the one page at a time.
right, slideshow. Okay, sounds like a plan. There we go. It starts in your brain. Interesting topic. Because we say that all the time. I know I do. It's what you're thinking. It starts with that actually. What are you thinking in the moment? Because it affects your health the way we think. But I'm going to go a little deeper in these two areas, lymphatic system and Candida albicans. And I'm going to explain why am I talking about those two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can, save your questions or comments until the end. I'm going to have space for that. But I just want to make sure I get through the presentation completely. Let's see, because I'm going to have a pre and post questionnaire. So if you can, even now, for the pre questionnaire, if you can state or write down or remember, what do you what does this speak, how does this speak to you? This title and these two issues that I've listed here. Do you know anything about them? Does it put something in your mind to think of, that a thought that came to you? If you can jot that down, I would love to hear it at the end of the presentation.
Or they can put it in the chat as you go
Oh,
along
okay.
and ask us to do things. We can put it in the
Oh,
chat.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, thank you, Queen.
You're
You can
welcome.
put it in the chat if you know how to do that as well. That would be great. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Let me say the whole title. It all starts in your brain, the lymphatic system, and Candida albicans. And I'm going to explain why I came up with that. But first of all, why is the brain important? First of all, it's a vital. It has vital bodily functions, cognitive and emotional functions, thought and decision making, memory, emotions, sensory processing, movement and coordination, individual identity. The brain. Wait a minute. The brain is critically important because it is the body's control center, regulating vital functions, thought, emotion, and movement. It interprets sensory information, stores memories, makes decisions, and coordinates all bodily function, from breathing and heartbeat to complex actions and personality. Without a functioning brain, life is not possible. Um, that can be cause some people to disagree, but that's what I read in this book. So I said, let me say it. If you disagree, write it down, please, or put it in chat. Because y'all would love to know if you agree or disagree with that statement. But it is important though. That's the main thing. It's important, right? Okay, let me go to the next. Okay. And I just wanted to let you know that if you want to view our past Elizabeth Health and Wellness shows, you can. Because we post them on YouTube, but you can go to YouTube at Grand Rising Elizabeth, and you can actually see other daily shows too, Monday through Friday. When you go to YouTube and under Grand Rising Elizabeth. If that's correct, right, Queen? Just so, okay. All right. So yep. So if you want to see other shows, please go out there and look at them. And this one we posted as well. We're recording this one, so if you want to review it or anything, you can go out there and take a look at it again. All right. Let's see. Moving on here. Now I'm going to share a personal story, my story. About a year ago, I got a prognosis that I had an autoimmune condition. Um, that's why I'm talking about the Candida albicans, because under my condition, this is one of the catalysts for autoimmune is Candida albicans. So I had to look at that because it's a factor in the development of the condition. Mm-hmm. And then I have the lymphatic system, which is a factor in me getting back to homeostasis development. Because it's a process to, when you have a certain condition, to actually clean the body and bring in the nutrients that takes it back to homeostasis. So that's why I'm talking about these two things specifically today. And hopefully you can get something from it as well. I mean, I don't know. People have different conditions. And maybe not some that are autoimmune, but it could be something, that you're dealing with that you want to get back to homeostasis, and it's possible. So hopefully something I'm sharing today might help you as well. Okay, once again, here we go, homeostasis. What is that? I mean, you might have heard it, but you might not be sure about what it is. Homeostasis is a process by which an organism maintains a stable internal environment, keeping variables like body temperature and blood sugar within those are examples, within a narrow range despite external changes. This balance is essential for survival and is regulated by systems like the nervous and endocrine systems. For example, the body shivers to generate heat when cold. I've experienced that truly many times, which is a mechanism to restore the core temperature. So the body tries to do what it needs to do to maintain homeostasis. And so, as I stated here, it keeps systems in balance, and you can have general tests at the doctor's office to determine what your homeostasis is. But one thing I would say is pay attention to your body, because the body is telling us things all the time if we pay attention, and it gives wonderful clues. I'm going to give you an example for me. I can get a headache every time I eat processed sugar. If I eat something with that in it, I get a headache. Now I feel it. It might be slight, but it will appear. So my body is telling me, oh, you better stop doing whatever I'm doing to get this headache. I mean, stop eating the sugar if you want to stop having headaches. Because I don't do aspirin and Tylenol or anything like that anymore. I don't take those things. So I try to avoid all headaches or those kind of little, I say little, but some people don't like headaches at all. But all right, let me see. The lymphatic system. All righty. Okay, there are 7 key activities. First, maintaining that homeostasis. The lymphatic system maintains homeostasis by managing fluid balance, absorbing fats and nutrients, and playing a key role in the immune system. It drains excess fluid from tissues, returning it to the bloodstream to prevent swelling and maintain blood volume. It also absorbs fats and fat-soluble vitamins from the digestive system and houses immune cells like lymphocytes to filter waste and fight pathogens. Okay. Okay, now for the location, these lymphocytes, the lymphatic system is throughout the body. Let's see if you can see. I can't even see it myself, but oh yeah, you see the little gentleman, the things that I have there. You see all the let's see, veins and whatever throughout the body that we all have. But they're there. Excuse me, I dropped something. Let's see, the key components are large network of lymphatic vessels or organs like the lymph nodes and the spleen. We don't hear a lot about the spleen, but once again, I want to let you know that if you go to the YouTube video under Grand Rising Elizabeth, you can find the video that I did on the lymphatic system. I went over it completely. So if you want to learn more about that, you can, because it's an important system. Let's see, the purpose and function of it. Filters waste and pathogens from the body's tissues and plays a major role in the immune response. So the lymphatic system, like I said, is very important. Now I'm gonna, I do want to share something here. Let's see. The lymphatic vessels connect the brain's clearance system to the rest of the body by draining waste from the brain into the neck lymphatic system. I don't know if you guys saw me point to my neck, but it's a lymphatic system in your neck as well. And the reason why I want to point this out is because, by me going through this process, I'm getting more movement in my neck, and I can feel it. And I don't have pain, but it's irritation. I can just feel things moving and doing stuff in my neck, right? And so when that happened, I decided to try a super patch for pain. Even though it wasn't pain, it was just the irritation I had. But I will say that once I put that patch on my neck, that irritation stopped within an hour. It probably was less than an hour, but I would say within an hour. It was the freedom patch. And I'm going to talk more about that later in the program, but we'll get to that. But I just wanted to make a note that is available. But that neck is important because it leads to the connection to the brain. From the brain to your body, through your spinal cord. And that spinal cord goes right through that neck. So if it's moving, it should be moving your lymphatic system. It should be moving. And we're going to talk about another system that comes from the brain, but we'll get to it. All right. Candida albicans. What is this? I'm going to talk a little bit about this because this is important too. Okay, Candida albicans is a harmless yeast that naturally lives in everyone's body, men, women, and children alike. In a healthy body, it lives symbiotically in a balanced environment in the gastrointestinal tract, on the mucous membrane, and on the skin. Unfortunately, this harmless yeast can overgrow and turn into an opportunistic pathogen. Wow. Something natural can actually, if we do certain things, it can turn to be something that's not good for our body. Candida albicans is a harmless fungus that lives in or on your body in small amounts. Healthy bacteria help balance the yeast and prevent it from overgrowing. But when something disrupts the balance, yeast infections like thrush can develop. Although uncomfortable, these infections are common. Healthcare providers use antifungals to treat them. Okay. What does it mean if you have Candida albicans? I will admit that I have had, I'm not sure if, well, no, I did my blood test. Yeah, I have Candida albicans. Now, Candida albicans like I said, is a species of yeast. It lives in on everyone's body. It's supposed to be there. It isn't a problem unless it turns to an infection. If something disrupts the balance of healthy bacteria and Candida albicans in your body, an infection can occur. A fungal infection caused by an overgrowth of yeast is called pronouncing this word, candidiasis. Candidiasis. Candida albicans can cause different types of infection, depending on where it affects your body. Types include skin candidiasis. Yeast grows in the folds of your skin, like under your breast or near your buttocks. It causes raised red patches. Which one is this one? Oh, Candida paranica. Yeast collects in your nail folds or cuticles. It causes skin discoloration, pain, and swelling around your nails. Another one is thrush. An overgrowth of yeast forms inside your mouth and throat. It causes raised white bumps that are painful and irritating. And then the last but not least is vaginal yeast infection. And I know over in the past years, I had a yeast infection. And then one thing that the doctor gives is antibiotics. And then through my reading, I found that that's causing a lot of issues, antibiotics. But yeast multiplies inside your vagina. It causes redness, itching, and burning, as well as abdominal vaginal discharge. And I can remember, I don't have that now, but I remember being under that condition before. So, and true enough, I was given antibiotic. And then, that can cause issues too. It was like, yeah, it was something. Okay, common infections. Let's see. Okay, all right. Yeah, you get common infections with Candida albicans. Okay, here we go. All right. Yes, you can get. It's a stream of them. Candida albicans can cause a variety of infections, collectively known as candidiasis, which can affect the skin, mouth, and throat and lead to invasive, life-threatening systemic infections. Common examples include oral thrush, which is the mouth and throat, vaginal yeast infections, skin rashes, and invasive infections in people with weakened immune systems. Candida albicans is an opportunist fungus that can cause a variety of infections. ranging from superficial to life-threatening. The severity often depends on the host's immune status. And once again, please view our other videos because we did talk about the immune system once before, how it's broken up and everything and how it works. But with this, you have common infections. You have oral thrush, vaginal yeast infection, a yeast infection of the skin. Let's see, invasive. It can get deeper, invasive, more invasive. One of the other infections that I saw and I wanted to let you know about is meningitis is one of them. Organ infections, sepsis. I've heard of that before because that leads to death quickly. Yeast overgrowth, primarily caused by the Candida albicans, can affect the brain in two main ways: by causing general cognitive symptoms like brain fog, due to the effects of fungal byproducts, and in severe, often uncompromised cases, by leading to serious brain infections like meningitis or abscesses. In severe cases, typically in individuals with weakened immune systems, diabetes, or those who have undergone certain medical procedures, Candida can spread from bloodstream to internal organs. I want to say that again because that's pretty telling. Candida can spread from the bloodstream to internal organs, including the brain. This condition is called invasive or systemic cardiodiasis and can lead to life-threatening infections of the central nervous system. And then other affected areas can be the esophagus. And the reason that's important because my father-in-law actually developed cancer of the esophagus. I've never thought people can get a cancer there that would metastasize to something else, but that he passed from. That was his diagnosis, was esophageal. So even with this, with Candida albicans, it can get to the esophagus and cause trouble. And then you have balanitis, an infection of the penis in males, and angular cheilitis. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, but painful cracked or fissured patches at the corners of the mouth. So it's different issues you can find. Some people might be experiencing some of these different infections, but one thing about it, we can do something about it. So I'm gonna share that in a little bit here. Okay, now let's see. I'm moving to lymphatic system. All right, there we go. All right. Ooh, the lymphatic system. 3 points. The three main points is that both of these systems clear waste. Now, the lymphatic system is from the brain. It's gonna clear waste from the brain. And then the lymphatic system is clearing it from the body. And these two systems, if you want to actually look at, we did shows on those two deeply. We went really deep into the whys and hows and whats of those two systems. So if you want to, please go and look at those YouTube videos. You can find them there. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna mention something else when it comes to this. Well, I'm gonna reiterate. One thing about it is when I saw that, the waste is traveling from my brain to my body, and it's using my neck to do it, to get from one thing. That's the way it goes. It moves those systems. And then I was telling you the challenge with my neck it was just irritated, but the patch helped me get through that. I don't have an issue with it anymore. After that 1 hour, it was done. Okay, let me go to the next screen. Lymphatic system. Okay, location. It's within the brain. The key components are the brain cells. They're moving. They're doing something whether you want them to or not. They're moving always. And the purpose and the function is to clear waste and to transport nutrients like glucose and lipids. So there's some they're definitely clearing waste even from my brain, but glucose and lipids are going from my body to my brain, brain to the body. They're working together. So they're tag teaming those two systems. Thank goodness. I'm glad it's working. And I'm glad it had evidence that it's working. Because when my throat was acting like it was going through something, I was like, okay, something's working. All right, now we're going to learn a little bit more about the lymphatic system. Let me see if I can. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to put the video on. I should take a break right now, huh? Maybe. Might be good. Okay, how's everybody doing? You getting any good information or anything?
Really good information. There was a question in the chat.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let me see. Maybe we can just do them all a little later. How about that? Or you want to do it now?
Fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Well, let me get to this other little. Here we go. Share this. Okay, here we go.
Welcome back. This is Dr. Jin Sung, where clinical excellence meets excellent results. How to clean the brain, the lymphatic system. What is it? What are some of the conditions associated with it? Most importantly, how do we improve the lymphatic system to improve our overall health? So let's get right into it. The lymphatic system is analogous to the lymphatic system of our body. Basically, it's the lymphatic system of our central nervous system, which is brain and spinal cord. The lymphatic system utilizes CSF, or cerebral spinal fluid, to do the clearance and delivery of nutrients. So it clears waste material as well as maintains homeostasis of the central nervous system. It distributes glucose, lipids, amino acids, and neurotransmitters to the central nervous system. So it's
Deitra,
a
can you
very
make that
important
large?
delivery system.
Oh, yeah, sure, I can try.
With AI,
You can create
right in
any
the
character
corner.
you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
the lymphatic system is filled with CSF, or cerebral spinal fluid. Basically, it's clearance as well as delivery. That's how it's very simply put in that manner. So it will help clear beta amyloid, which is associated with Alzheimer's disease, alpha-synuclein, which is associated with Parkinson's disease. And a dysfunctional lymphatic system will impact things like MS, as well as disturbs clearance of neurotoxins when you have a brain injury or mild traumatic brain injury. Okay. Now, a poor dysfunctional lymphatic system will also impact things like stroke, CTE, sleep disorders will certainly impact that, age or advanced age, as well as migraines. Now, migraines is typically a vascular headache, so blood flow. So it will certainly impact the lymphatic system because you need proper blood flow to the brain. Okay? Now, here are some of the important things that you need to do to help enhance the lymphatic system. Number one really is sleep. Okay, they've done studies on animals and they noticed that when you have proper amounts of sleep, between 7 and 9 hours of good deep sleep, you will have better clearance of the lymphatic system. Also, sleeping on your right side is the best position to enhance the system or clear the system. Sleeping on your left is the second best position, followed by your back and then on your stomach. Really, right side or left side is probably the best for this purpose. Exercise will increase blood flow and exercising 30 to 45 minutes per day, whatever exercise you can tolerate. So you can start with walking, running, HIIT exercises, more high intensity, weight training, etc. So exercise is very important for the clearance. Hydration is very important. So you want to drink at least half your body weight in ounces of water, and you want to add in some minerals or some salts to that water. Posture and ergonomics is also very important because people who are sedentary when they're working as well as their lifestyle, they're not going to have proper blood flow. So posture and ergonomics is very important also. Stress reduction is also crucial because stress promotes inflammatory cytokines and inflammation, really. So breathing exercises, things like the physiological sigh, or alternate nostril breathing, or deep belly breathing can be quite beneficial for stress reduction. Obviously, you want to reduce those stressors in your lives, but breathing can certainly help and make an immediate impact. Okay. Omega-3 has also shown to help improve the lymphatic system. There are other nutrients, I'll list those below. Basically, if you can enhance blood flow to the brain as well as decrease inflammation, you're going to enhance the system. Vagal stimulation, I talked about this in other videos. Humming, gargling, gagging, anything that you can stimulate in your throat and neck area will help stimulate the vagal nervous system, and that is in the brainstem, thereby improving cerebral spinal fluid flow to the brain. Chiropractic care, upper cervical manipulation can also help improve cerebral spinal fluid flow. Obviously, there needs to be more studies done on that, but vagal stimulation probably has a lot of studies on this. Also, LED lights, or what we call photomodulation, can also help quite a bit, increasing blood flow to the brain. Now, the penetration of these lights can be very superficial, but you can increase the blood flow superficially, thereby increasing blood flow to the brain. Intermittent fasting, interestingly enough, as well as prolonged fasting. I've done many videos on fasting, intermittent fasting, 3-day fasting, etc. Essentially, fasting will put your body in a state of autophagy, right? So when you go into autophagy, basically what you're doing is clearing debris, right? Cellular debris. So the lymphatic system is enhanced when you do fasting. Number one thing for the lymphatic system is really sleep, proper sleep. You have to really take into consideration, are you getting deep, restful sleep? Do you feel rested in the morning? You want to think about sleep hygiene, getting the electronics out of your room, right? Reading in a dim light for an hour before bed rather than looking at your phone before bed. Complete darkness is very important to get proper sleep. A cool environment. They say anywhere from 65 degrees to 70 degrees is ideal so your body temperature doesn't rise overnight. It's important to keep your body cool to get a deep, restful sleep. Also, you can use apparatuses, things like a weighted blanket. You can use white noise. You can also do mouth taping, and I made videos on these. So you can do these things to enhance your sleep. We're actually coming out with a module on your basic foundational things that you should do to improve your health. And sleep is a big component of that module. You have to do all the necessary things so you can sleep well, so you could rest and heal, right? Now, there are certain medical conditions that can impact this, like sleep apnea. So you need to be evaluated with a sleep study. But essentially, if you can get proper sleep, you're going to have a better brain. All right. My name is Dr. Jin Sung, where clinical excellence meets excellent results. We'll see you guys next week on the healthy side. Have an awesome day.
Oh,
Hey, Alicia Little here, and I'm excited to announce that the third annual AI and Marketing Summit is here. This is the AI Marketing Summit 2025.
okay. We're gonna get back to.
Well, I just wanted to talk about marketing. I'm looking
Okay.
at my phone, and just as soon as I saw Alicia is live showing how she came on there.
Oh,
I'm just
really?
saying how effective her marketing. She is everywhere. Just
Wow.
confirmed on my phone, on here, what you played and stuff. That's how you make your name, your photo, your show, your podcast come up first. Just
Oh,
have
okay.
it
Okay.
out there all the time.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that.
I did have a question about the water, and she mentioned salt. You put salt in the water. I mean, it was talking about drink a lot of water. It was a hymn. Anyway, I mean, he said water
Okay.
and salt and a little salt in it. And I'm like, oh, okay. What kind of salt is he talking about?
Right. I have heard that when I had a cold or a sore throat, I would put salt in my water, but not on a daily basis. I don't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But can you see the screen?
Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt. Not that I didn't hear, but I hear you say something about putting salt in water.
Mm-hmm.
Himalayan salt, not regular salt.
Okay.
Sprinkle a little bit in some water and like drink it in the morning or something like that.
Well,
I
I
guess
know.
I didn't really hear it. You said
Yeah.
that the video referred to doing that?
Celtic salt is good too.
Just to drink, like lemon in your water like that in the morning. I just never heard I mean, I've done the salt cleansing. When I'm cleansing, I want to flush out my system. But never like in your water drink, you put your glass and then a little thing of salt. I never heard of that.
I was told to do that because a friend of mine is a like a physical therapist and massage therapist and whatnot. And I had told him that one time after one of the massages, my legs were oh, I'm sorry, it's not the time to talk.
No,
Go
it's
ahead,
okay. You
sweetie.
can
Hello?
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I'll wait. I'm sorry.
No, go
It's
ahead and
okay.
complete what you wanted to say, honey.
Well, anyway, my muscles were I couldn't really describe it when he said do it like they're contracting. I told him yes. And so he told me to, not a lot of Himalayan salt, but sprinkle some into the water. And he really into working out because he's been doing it since we've been teenagers. He works out, and he said that is what he does. That he like have on his bedside. He'll drink it in the morning, or something like that. So I don't really know the in depth details, you know what I mean. But I remember him telling me to do that. Like that would ease my the that feeling of contraction in my muscles that I was feeling.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah,
sharing
not
that.
a lot. Just that, don't put a whole lot to make it, taste salt. But yeah, like just sprinkle it into your water. The
Okay, thank
exact
you
amount,
for
I'm
sharing.
not sure, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Okay. Thanks
Stacy?
for sharing that. Mm.
Well, can I add a little to that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I know with pure herbs, they have a herb called all cell salt. And all
Right.
cell salt is an herb that contains all of the 13 organic tissue salts that are in the body. And what it does is it cleanses the cells out. It cleanses the um, it cleanses the inorganic minerals by replacing it with organic minerals, which are in all cell salt. And it has bladderwrack, um, Atlantic kelp, Irish moss, and arrowroot in it. So the body does have salt in it. So when I said Celtic salt,
Mm-hmm.
you only put, just like she said, a very small amount in. Some people put a small amount up under the tongue. Now, I'm not really familiar with it, but it is something that you can research because the body does have um, salt in it. So to clean your cells, different salts can maybe help dissolve and help with the inorganic minerals by replacing it with more organic minerals. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm. Who are you? Phone.
My name my name is Bridget Chapman.
Thanks, Bridget. Let me just say this. I did hear about like when you have when you do the cleanser, the master cleanser. And
Right.
you clean yourself with the water and the salt in the morning, a lot of water and how much salt. But then I heard someone else say what you just said, Bridget, about that they would put in place of the lot of water, they put just a little bit, like what you said, under the tongue, and then they drink the water, and it has the same effect of cleansing. So I've never done that part, where you just put it under your just direct salt, and yeah, so not
Okay.
regular salt.
Right. No. Okay.
And that particular salt is the cleansing doesn't have the iodine in it and stuff like that. Okay, I'm complete with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy, what you want to say, honey?
Well, it's not like drinking a lot of water, but everybody needs the adequate amount of water. But adding salt and water to water is important because it improves hydration. So plain water in and of itself does not stay in the body well, especially if you're low on electrolytes. And adding salt or sodium to your water helps the cells absorb and hold on to the water you drink. And it improves the dehydration because you could be dehydrated. It improves dry mouth, fatigue, headaches, and muscle cramps, like she was talking about. Her person told her to do. So it replaces the electrolytes you lose, especially in athletes when they're exercising and stuff like that. That's why they drink Gatorade and stuff like that to improve the electrolytes they lose because salt is easy to be lost in the body if you're not drinking an adequate amount of water. So it helps with nerve signals, muscle contraction, heart rhythm, and brain function. All of that is important with adding salt to the water.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's funny, my phone is going off. Who is this? Okay.
Evelyn's hand is
All
up.
right.
Evelyn's hand is up there.
Oh, hey, Evelyn. Mama
Well,
Evelyn.
hi, Grand Rising. Is that every glass of water you drink, Stacy? Just in the morning?
Just an adequate amount of sodium in your body. We need sodium because our bodies is made of electrolytes, and sodium is an electrolyte. So we
Right.
can't be depleted on that. I mean, if you get your blood work drawn, sometimes people will, the blood work can come back and say your sodium is high or your sodium is low. So it depends on how your body is, but to eat an adequate amount, everybody is said to say that a healthy person can use up to 24 milligrams of sodium a day. So if you're not getting enough sodium, you can have an imbalance. If you're getting too much, you can have an imbalance. So just enough based on whatever you have going on in your body. Of course, if you have kidney function issues, you don't want to take in a whole lot of sodium in water. You have to go by what the doctor tells you your limitations are. So it's different for every individual.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up a little bit here. Go to my screen, my wrap up screen, because we have to I wanted to share some things with you all and get some information from you. Let's see, I'm trying to get to the big screen here. And it's not going there. Great. No. Well, we can take it from here. I think you guys can see the screen.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I gave you my email address because sometimes you don't want to say anything on the show, but you want to ask questions of me about what I shared. But if you want to, please email me. And then in the subject line, put health and wellness show, so I know where it's coming from or what it could be about. Um, and then I want to just let you know that it's important to get the lymphatic system moving. And you can do a massage. And once again, we did a show on lymphatic massages, and so I show how that's done. So if you get a chance to go to YouTube on Tuesday Health and Wellness Show, you should find it on one of those. And then it's good to get checked for Candida albicans, the yeast that we talked about in this session. You can get it done through your primary care physician, or you can get a blood analysis, and that's what I do. I can provide that because that comes with the blood analysis that I do. I can provide that information if you have yeast in the blood. And also I want to make a note that on November 30th, just a couple of weeks from now, from 2 to 5, we're going to have a super patch party for health, and it's going to be health assistance demonstrations done then. And I talked about the super patch that I use for my throat, and also we have a REM one, REM, for sleep. And I put that one on one night, and it worked well too. I slept real well. I was looking for a dream. I didn't have a dream that night, but I slept good. I felt rested the next day. So I just wanted to share those different things so you would know. Now we can ask some more questions.
I have one thing I'd like to add.
Yes.
I don't see where the raising the hand icon is. Sorry to pop in like that.
Well,
But it
what's your
was
name?
for
Bring us back
Maureen.
together, Deitra.
I'm sorry.
Stop the sharing.
Oh,
Bring us
okay.
back
Well,
together.
Oh,
Go ahead, Maureen.
okay. I just wanted to bring up a really interesting thing I learned this weekend, and it affects the blood-brain barrier, and it's also got a real simple solution that everyone can implement. And it was on a science feed by Anton Petrov talking about microplastics and then even smaller nanoplastics that we ingest in our culture all the time, and even from rubbing up stuff, against stuff, carpet, whatever, that can cross the blood-brain barrier. But then he did a series, and after researching this for many years, of removing it from the body with sulforaphane, which is the body's reaction, the chemical process when it digests broccoli. Broccoli isn't just so darn good for you, it's what it makes your body do when it digests. And that's why it's in so many things like probiotic and recommended all the time in the cruciferous vegetable thing. I thought it was so great to just come back to something like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can eat more broccoli. I can include that a little bit. also for brain health. So that's all I wanted to share that to get back to the natural things that we can do.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I
Yeah.
initially said, when we first started, who had heard of, on my title, it talks about the lymphatic and Candida albicans. And I want to know who, I want you to jot down if you had heard of it or if you know anything about it. And also, after hearing what I shared, what did you learn or what did you gain? Does anyone have anything to share?
That it was a fungus. My daughter used to always talk about candida, candida, candida. It was always in her conversation about how important it is to get the candida out of your body so that
Oh,
your body
great.
doesn't be imbalanced. And you have all these different issues as related to the imbalance in your body. But one thing that I noticed that when you made a comment about when you eat certain things and how it affects your body, you said if you eat some highly processed foods, you get headaches right away. One
Yeah.
thing I notice about me is if I eat anything with highly processed oils in it, it causes my throat to burn.
Oh,
And it usually happens like clockwork. 2 to 3 hours after I eat, I start feeling this burning in my throat and I have to take Tums and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of times if I go to restaurants, I ask them what kind of oils they use because
right.
depending on the kind of oils that they use, my body will respond really bad to it. And so I was like, if you tell me it's not in there, okay, I'll believe you. But my body gonna tell me if it's
Your
in there,
body will tell you.
whether you say it's not in there or not, because like clockwork, that's one thing that really affects me. So try to stay away from fried foods, highly processed foods, anything like that have even a tad bit of any of those seed oils are so
Yes.
toxic to your body. And you just really want to really watch out for highly processed oils.
Yes. Thank you for sharing. That was great. Sharonda.
Were you done, Stacy? Okay, so a few things about the whole marketing thing. I went to some kind of event. I think it was on funding last week, and they were saying that about at least maybe about as of 2 weeks ago, for those of us that have legitimate businesses, that we should have been had our Black Friday sales and promotions and everything already together. And I've also heard as far as putting things in your water, and if it comes to like maybe herbs and supplements, I've heard that maybe put a little pepper in your drink so that it can be absorbed better. And I had a rash on my feet in the summer, and I'm like, they gave me something and it went away a little bit. Then, you were talking about the candida yeast or whatever, and I really don't want this recorded. However, maybe it might help somebody or somebody or somebody. So I went to the doctor like 3 times for this. Actually, it was actually, let me go back. About every other time I go to the doctor to get my female annual pap smear, they always say, "Oh, you got bacterial vaginosis." And
Mm,
so I'm like, okay, I never really see it. But this last time it was so bad that, it looked like, sorry to gross anybody out, like heavy yellow cottage cheese, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I went to the doctor 3 times. I couldn't get no help. So I had already started trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. Like before I try to go get more fruits and vegetables, finish everything in the fruit bowl. So God was like the rash on my feet and the female issues. I shared it when you were talking about the colors of the fruit. I shared
right.
a little bit. I didn't want to say, but that's what it was. God had told me, okay, you'd have been to the doctor 3 times, so God and me had to heal myself because the doctors couldn't help me. So if I eat too much, and then it'll like show up different ways. Sorry if I'm grossing anybody out, but it'll show up different ways. First, it can be like real slick, and then it'll get to like a thicker film, like a little gel. Then it can be like the cottage cheese, and it was so bad. I said, oh my God, what is this? And I went online and I was like, oh my God, like some people be dealing with this for like 20 years, and I'm like, are you kidding? And no doctor can help them. So for me, I noticed that if I'm not eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, or vegetables and fruit, it'll start to show up, and it'll show up subtly, and then progressively. I haven't actually never got worse because I know now my body needs vegetables and fruits. So if I eat too much starch, like bread and stuff like that, too much sugar, cookies, and all them sweets, or if I eat too much citrus, I've noticed. Like if I try to eat an orange and then I'll be like, oh, I want this grapefruit too. My body can't do it. So some things that I have done or is changing my eating habits. I have to eat vegetables and fruits. So I'll eat celery, parsley, cilantro, cucumbers.
Yeah, cucumbers.
And I really love the kiwi limes and any other vegetables and probably salads and stuff. But those are my like 4 go-tos. That I don't like celery and parsley, cilantro.
But it's good for you.
I feel that it issue also on the online. It's kind of controversial. People are like, oh, don't. But for me, baby, let me tell you, it'll clear it up in 24 hours for me. But I also have to be, you know, it'll help it. But then if I'm eating those fruits and the vegetables and the fruit, it helps me like wonders, and I don't have no issues. But if I see my body getting out of whack, I'll be like, ooh, okay, I know I gotta be eating me my vegetables and fruit, and it clears it right up.
Okay, good. Thank you for sharing. I know it's very personal. But one thing you just made me think about is, body testing or testing to see if things will work for you. And for me too. I use my body test or
Muscle
it's
test.
thank you, muscle
Mhm.
testing. I was trying to think of what other way we call that. But yeah, that's good. And we have a YouTube video about that too. So please go out there and look for it because we talked about that.
Okay, Stacy's hand is up,
Okay, Stacy.
then we'll be finished. Unmute yourself, babe.
Mute button tried to win. Okay, so Lachelle had a question in the chat. What type of issues do antibiotics cause? And I answered it for her. Just wanted everybody to know that, she had that question out there. But
Okay.
it's when you use antibiotics too often, bacteria can become stronger and harder to kill in your body. And it can cause mood changes, hormone and blood sugar imbalances. It also can lower your nutrient absorption. So the antibiotics itself, they can disrupt the gut and the immune system and even your brain function, leading to a more like a ripple effect throughout your whole body. So
Yes.
they use them to kill certain diseases. And if you keep using them, you're going to need a stronger and stronger one. And then it's just going to cause all of these problems in the end. So it's
Yes.
better to just try to avoid them altogether if you can, with the preventative stuff, holistically
Okay.
preventative methods.
Well, thank you for answering that for Lachelle.
I don't know how to raise my hand.
Okay. Okay, go
Just
ahead,
jump
honey.
in.
I don't know how to do the I don't know how to do the raise hand thing.
Mhm.
I can't find it.
Okay, no
But I
problem.
wanted to ask is it okay?
Yeah, it's
Get on
okay.
there for me. Um yeah, as far as okay, the antibiotics, I knew I know some people just take it for everything. They even think it do something with a cold. I'm like, no, that's a virus. That's not a bacteria. But anyway, that's another story. People just overdo it, and I
Right.
knew the importance of not taking it, especially if it's not prescribed for you, and and especially trying to take it for whatever you think you're supposed to take it for. But I didn't know that it was just harmful all the way, just to get period. Because I thought if it was targeted for whatever that specific issue is, yeast infection or something like that, I thought it would be okay. So basically, just period. Whether you taking it for what it's specifically targeted for, that's not good neither.
No,
That'll
it's not.
cause problems too.
It can cause problems too. Yep.
They give different antibiotics for different funguses and depending on where they are. Like for yeast infections, way back in the day, they used to use that monostat. It was like women were getting yeast infections like it wasn't nothing.
Yep.
Especially after having a baby or something like that. Yeast infections were very, very common. It was so common back then that they started putting monostat over the counter. That's how common it was. So
Yeah.
different antibiotics for different things, but just using them in general over and over and over again, it's just going to cause a lot of imbalances in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks
I
for the
like what you said
question.
about balance though, because you got to have a little bit of that in your body. Like teacher said, it's in everybody's blood, just not out of balance. To not be afraid of it, just to deal with it.
Right.
Thank you.
Or like Riola says in here, look for the natural way to deal with it, you know,
That's true.
and and then speak to your doctor about it. If you're concerned about, then they want to give you that. Say what you let them know your concern, and then see what they say.
Right.
Riola had
I'm just thinking because like my doctors, I know you're not gonna take this. Well, let me tell you what happened, what can happen, and stuff, so you know what you need to replace what this that I want you to take. It'll replace that. So find something that's going to do this, that's natural, and put that in your body. And like I said, sometimes you just need to clean your body. Just clean it out. We want to keep the stuff in us, and then take something natural, and it's got to deal with all that. Or if you go and get something, from the doctor and stuff, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we gotta stop putting trash in though.
what'd you say? Yeah.
We need to stop putting trash in. Giving the body more work to do.
Yes. Lakeisha, and then that's it. Go ahead, baby.
okay. So Riola had put in there olive leaf extract can help as a natural antibiotic, and I'm pretty sure she sells that, and Natural Living by Design does also.
Mhm.
And Sharonda has the oregano, oil of oregano can be good. But she says she hasn't found it. I'm pretty sure that Riola probably has that as well, Sharonda, and Natural Living by Design has oil oregano also.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing that information.
And Caladium Silver Plus is also amazing for this time of the year.
Oh yeah.
All
All
right.
righty. Well, thank you
May I
all.
add one more thing?
Yes.
4 cloves of garlic is like a single dose of antibiotic.
Oh, what do you do with the clove garlic?
You chop it up,
Okay.
you chop it up. You can also use it for strep throat. You can use 4 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You chop it up really, really well, and that combination will clear up strep throat.
Oh, okay.
You can also use 4 cloves of garlic, 4 ounces of lemon, and 4 ounces of olive oil to help with kidney stones.
Oh.
It actually will help dissolve, and it also will help with infection.
Mm.
For sharing that.
I found a way to just get garlic down when you got to eat it raw like that, to take kale or something like cabbage that will hold it and put the garlic in it, the raw garlic, and pour some oil on it and some lemon and just get it down, chew it up.
Okay.
It makes it kind of quicker. Yeah.
All right, ladies
Okay. We
and
gonna
gentlemen.
all right. Thanks again for attending the show today, and we truly appreciate you coming. And you want to close this out, Stacy? You want me to? Okay.
She just realized.
Let that mute button win. You can go ahead and close us out, Deitra.
Okay, well, we want to show ourselves love, because we are important to ourselves and the people around us. So give yourselves a hug and a kiss. Mwah. Yep, and we're gonna hug the world because there's some people out there that they would love just our presence. All right, and so we're gonna sprinkle some goodness down. Okay, may you all have a wonderful day.
And you know what's up tomorrow? Well, Philly Wednesday. Well,
Well,
Philly Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And boy, do I have a treat.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right, queens, and gentlemen, king. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out. Out.